All right. Lovely to see you all. Good evening, good morning if you're in Australia. Welcome everyone to our first Harmony Pack session with the Otter Council. Now, for those of you who are new to the Harmony Pack, what we do every month is I bring through to start what I refer to as the council of, in this case, the Council of Otters. And so what that means is when I refer to the council, I'm talking about the higher group mind, the group soul, if you will, of the otters. We have been having an amazing year with, oh my gosh, jellyfish and turtles and hyenas and just an amazing group of animals that have come forward. And the reason that they are here with us is that these are teachings from the wild ones about who we are and what we're here to do. And all of the messages they bring us, they wish for us to take these personally, to take from their message something that is relevant to what's going on in your life right now, what's happening in your life right now. Because each time we meet, we go a little deeper. So I have referred to it as um, like a counseling or a coaching from the animals. And that's what makes this whole thing unique. It is literally the animals bringing us messages that we then use in our life, whatever we're doing, whether we're a healer, whether we're a teacher, whether we're a banker, whether we're a dog trainer, whether we're a painter, whether we're a horse hoof trimmer, whatever it is that we do, we want to take these messages and learn from them because that's what the animals want us to do. And there, of course, is an urgency for human beings to begin, or not to begin, to move quickly, to remember who we truly are, to remember our connections with one another and with, of course, with the natural world. And many of us come to Arabic. How did we get Arabic in here? It sounds like you might have switched to a different language. Okay, hold on, everybody. Was I speaking Arabic? No. Okay. I don't know what that was. All righty then. That was an interesting message. Um, Hold on. We'll let someone else in. Um, there's an urgency here on the part of the animals for us to really shine our light as who we came here to be. So most of us came here with a great deal of light, but through life circumstances, difficulties with family stuff, with just life in general, we have gotten bogged down with patterns, bogged down with belief systems, bogged down with should-haves, could-haves, would-haves, bogged down with responsibilities that may or may not be ours to carry. And the animals, this is a call to action from the animals to learn how, with their help, to shed these things in order to fully shine in our purpose, in our mission. And in some cases, some of our members of the pack didn't always know what their mission was. But then as we progressed with the messages from the animals, things are becoming more clear. Challenges that we've had are shifting and becoming easier. And the animals then show up to us in physical form. Kim Kim Murdoch was just sharing with me today how she keeps getting all these turtle pictures, turtles everywhere, because the Turtle Council is speaking directly to her to remind her of the message they gave her. I'm so sorry. Allison doesn't know how to get in. Well, I can't help her right now. So the point is that you write down what it is that they've brought you tonight that you can then work on through the month. The next piece of the Harmony Pack, so next week when we meet, it's a time to share. So what did the message do for each member of the pack? What did we, and you're not obligated to share, but it's so valuable for each of us to hear what's happening in the other person's life. And we share that, and and we learn from one another because different insights from one person, of course, bring, have light bulb moments for others. So the second time we come together, we share those messages, and Joe and I'm just muting you guys. Um, and so we share those, and then following that sharing, I bring forth another message from the council that will address some of those things that have come up for people, including if there's questions, but will also help move everybody forward with new information. And the third week of the month is a time where we all listen on our own. So the Harmony Pack is also a way to help deepen your connection with all life, with your own ability to receive communication from non-human beings, from more than human beings. So that is what we do in the third week. And there's always more sharing. And the fourth week is a time for us to just have a closing circle, and for us to have a closing circle, and to hear one more message from the council that just brings everything together. So that is the purpose of the Harmony Pack, to become more balanced personally, more in harmony with ourselves, in order to be more in harmony with the natural world and with all human beings as well. So it has been my great joy and privilege to bring through these councils and to hear the growth and change that each of our members have experienced. So let's see. I have a couple, I want to take just a couple minutes. If any of my pack wants to share anything from, the camels or the turtles or anything that's recently touched them, just we can take a moment to do that. Would anybody like to share? You can certainly unmute yourself and share. Barbara, Misai, anybody? Where's Barb?
I
There
can
you
share a little bit. And I've been in the pack for about 6 months, I think, about that. And every month I'm just blown away because it's exactly the thing I needed to hear. And I mean, it's been messages about being in my power and just the way I move through my life. I feel more empowered. I feel like I'm more aware. And the camels, especially, were teaching me how to walk like a camel, which was just mind blowing. And I'm still doing it, and I've got other people doing it now, and that I've told about it. And so it's my gratitude is like off the charts for this. The messages are always so kind and so loving too. There's instruction, but it's always so filled with love. You can't take it any bad way. You just can't. So thank you.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. That was so sweet. Yeah, Barbara's been sharing the idea about walking with the camel is walking with your feet really feeling the earth. As camels have, they have a foot that spreads in the sand. And that's just a piece, that's just a teeny piece of the message that they gave. So thank you for sharing. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? I think everybody's in by now.
May I say something about the camels, even though I was away?
Yes, Jane,
And
please.
with you, I'm at uni, so sometimes I don't get to be in Harmony Pack, and the last month was really busy. Anyway, I did some healing work with Bonnie the other week, and a camel stepped in and was talking to me. So, and also for the last month, I've been getting a lot of adaptability. So when we were doing intensive school and working with the horses, we had to adapt the way we would normally do things to do things the way those horses had been accommodated. So we didn't confuse them, and with that, we gave them what they needed. So there's been a lot of adaptability. And every time I've not been able to make a Harmony Pack, and this is so true, the animals that are in Harmony Pack will come by and will help me with something, from writing an essay and saying, no, when I did my woolly mammoth, no, you need to put bear in here and use bear olfactory system for this animal when you were working on bears. And when I said to Vaughnie, I don't know where that comes from, she's like, That's because it has to do with Harmony Pack. So Harmony Pack always steps in whether you make it or not.
Thank you, Jane. That's lovely. So she's very tuned in, even if she can't be here because if she's in Australia and her schedule, sometimes gets very complicated. And so I just love that somehow she's always connected in because those animals will still come to her in meditation or, when she's doing something. She does extraordinary aromatherapy with animals. That is part of her great gift. So thank you both for sharing. And so what I would like to do now is we will go through together what I do to bring through the otters because I feel them around. And as I mentioned when I first came on, that many of you didn't hear, is I thought it was appropriate to have a river behind me, a rushing river. That would be so fun for some otters. It's actually a picture I took in Colorado. Um, so I thought that would be fun to have. So what we do, the way we connect, is we start with a meditation that just helps us drop the day, and then I will do a guided meditation that helps us connect to one another. And and after that meditation, I just bring through the council. So I encourage you, if you don't have a notebook or a piece of paper in front of you, I encourage you to do that now because there will be relevant things for you that will come through this message. And I encourage you to write it down so that you can work with it this week and see how it plays out in your life. How does it bring insight to different situations? One of the things that I love is that people like Barb and Jane and Misai, all of our pack will say, well, I was working on such and such a thing, and the hyenas came to me about power, about owning my feminine power, because I was having trouble with this decision. But I remembered what the hyenas said about being in my feminine power, and I was able to hold my boundary and say no to somebody that I really needed to say no to. So that's how they begin to inform and become part of your guides, if you will, part of your intuition, and your connection now with them is a constant thing. And as I said, Kim has been hearing from the turtles who we talked to a couple months ago, because the turtles are still bringing wisdom that is helpful to her. So it's a beautiful way that it all starts to work together. And there are my friend Allison is a professional animal communicator who's part of our pack. Monica is an incredible animal communicator who is doing beautiful work and other healing work as well. We have such an incredible group of women, and right now it's just women. Men, of course, are certainly invited, but right now it's women. And then we become a support for one another and get to share the joy in being in constant connection with these animal councils. And it is for the good of all, for the good of the whole planet is what we're doing. So, all right. Any questions before we start our meditation? Anybody have a question or comment? I'm looking at everybody's mute buttons. Okay, and we'll have time after, okay? Because what we'll do when I'm done bringing the otters through is, again, give you time to write stuff down that is helpful or relevant or just stands out to you of something that you want to pay attention to for the following week. And those can be shared. You can share any of those insights or light bulbs that you wish to. All right, so everybody's muted. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's begin by getting ourselves comfortable, but sitting up straight in our chairs and allowing our spines to settle. And if you can, put your feet on the floor. And let's just begin breathing with your eyes closed. Take in the breath through your nose and then breathe out as if you're breathing out through a straw, pursed lips. Breathe in, out. And as you continue breathing, feel the breath that you're bringing in. It's not only oxygen, but it's prana. It's the life force energy. And as you breathe that in, feel your lungs expanding, both with air and light. And send some of that light to any place that's tight, your neck, your shoulders. Oh, just breathe it in. Breathe in more light. Sending it out to every cell in your lungs, allowing them to expand and relax at the same time. And feel the breath going a little bit deeper, deeper into the belly. See if you can expand your diaphragm, allowing more space. Breathing down now deep into the womb space, into the pelvic bowl. Sending the breath into your hips, down your thighs, past your knees and shins and ankles. And allow that light from your breath to pool in the balls of your feet, in the bottoms of your feet and your toes, your heels. Feel the light pooling there and waking up the energy centers in your toes and in your feet, the chakras in your toes and in your feet. Feel that just getting a little brighter, a little more awake. But now breathe that light down into Mother Earth like you're sending roots, roots down deep. And as you breathe, you're sending light and air through those roots down into Mother Earth as she rises to meet you, gathering up your roots and holding them close, anchoring them to her heart. Feel yourself grounded in loving Mother Earth energy. And then as you breathe some more, breathe that light and love up through those roots into your feet. Breathe it up past your ankles and shins, past your knees, and allow it to rest in the root chakra. Now we are opening the chakras, the red root chakra at the base of your spine. And feel the energy moving up to the orange navel chakra, creativity, and up to that bright yellow solar plexus center. Feel that light and color all around you in 3D, inside you and outside you. As you breathe up into the heart chakra, pink, green, swirling green and pink, or however you see the colors of your heart chakra. Breathing up into the sky blue throat. Again, see that energy all around your neck, back of your neck, from your throat. The energy moving up your face to your third eye. Lapis blue, beautiful deep blue, like a band around your head. Opening up that third eye. Now above to the crown chakra, multi-petaled lavender lotus. As it opens to receive light, white light from source, beaming down through the eighth chakra, which is like a halo above your head. Beautiful, sparkling white light beaming down, bathing all your rainbow colors with white light. like a spotlight of twinkling, twinkling lights down lavender, lapis, sky blue, as the energy from source above merges with Mother Earth source below in your heart. Feel them there. Feel the masculine, feminine energies balanced and supporting you. And feel that energy coming up from your heart chakra, through your shoulders, arms, and hands as we connect to one another, heart to hand and hand to hand, hand to heart and heart to hand, as we create a beautiful circle of rainbow beings around a campfire, the center of our Harmony Pack circle. And as we pause, we are joined by a bouncing, squishy, swimming, jumping, sliding group of otters sliding into our circle. Hello, dear friends. We are so glad that we could join you at this moment in time. For this is a change right now, above and below, within and without. For this is the Beltane, you call it. This is the time of the beginning of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere and the beginning of the winter in the Southern Hemisphere. But it is this moment, this beautiful moment of change, that we are so excited to come to you. For tonight, today, at this moment, we invite you to open your hearts to the meaning of awakening. We will focus on the spring awakening. For this is a moment of pure joy. As the plants and trees burst forth, and within their roots, they sing and speak and talk and chat to one another through the mycelium network within the soil. The joy is unbounded. And within that, the water picks up the noise, the songs, the sounds, the chats, all of this joyful activity, and it bubbles and it bursts forth in its banks, just tumbling, rippling, moving, bringing oxygen and life to everything within it. The air is different. The air is different as well, as the different winds mix and move as they bring different energies to the Northern Hemisphere. In the South, the winds are changing, of course, as well, and different things are moving and shifting there. And it is all good because it is a change. It is movement. But for us up here, we bask in this moment of shift and change. And when it happens, we embrace it with great joy, with so much joy, we can't wait to swim and slide in the mud and swish and swirl all over one another, spinning and turning and nipping and chasing and biting and having a marvelous time celebrating everything that is happening around us, everything that is alive again, bursting forth at this incredible moment that happens every single year. For as you know, we all are privileged to be in form on this beautiful sphere, this beautiful planet we call Mother. This gift she gives to us is unbelievable. And as a result, we all have the opportunity to live in joy and extend this joy. What would it be like if every day you woke up and you listened with your heart and your mind to the awakenings all around you? Can you hear the leaves begin to pop out on the bushes outside your window? Can you feel the change in the breeze as the clouds shift and change? Can you smell how different the rain is? For it is different too. Can you see and watch little things pushing up through the earth? Many of them bursting into flower. How gorgeous is that? So what if you greeted every morning with the same joy that is bursting forth outside your window? What would that be like? We invite you to try this. Before you open your eyes, allow your senses, allow your intuition, your vision to take you outside the window. As the sun comes up and every creature, plant and animal starts to awaken to the sunrise, to the warming, and responds. For this is the time of year where you can so easily feel and see it. So if you do this before you even open your eyes, then what? What will you say to yourself to start the day? How would you like to be in this new day? If you think of that and you join in with the creation that is bursting forth with all of this joy, how can that not affect your day? And if you can bring flowers in to remind you so you can smell them, or open your window and let in the breeze, smell the rain, how can you maintain this connection with all of this life bursting forth in joy? So this is our invitation. What will you do with this? How will it shape your day? What will come of this for you? Huh, we know how we'll spend our days. We'll spend our days reveling in the joy, reveling in the sun, reveling in the mud, reveling in the water, reveling when we eat, reveling when we poop, reveling when we play with each other. It's all good. It's all really good. So this, from us, the river otters, we come to you to bring joy and to invite you to breathe in the awakening, joyous world that is right outside your window and make that your day and everything you do. And let us know what happens. So when you can, take a minute and write down as much or as little as you want. I'm going to put us on gallery view. And then when you're ready, I would love to have somebody share what came to them from that and whatever else you'd like to share about how you'd like to work with whatever it was they gave you. This message was a little obvious, right? Some are not so obvious and others are much more subtle. But it was a great example of the energy of the council, this particular Otter Council. So I'm gonna, would anybody like to share? And you can unmute yourself and I'm gonna put us on speaker so we can see you better. Just unmute yourself and I'll see you unmute and then I can make you big. Sue Yoshida, hold on a sec.
Yes, I have to say that the joy they expressed and the fun and the just the bursting, it just made my heart just open up so much. I could feel them playing. And it's like, this is what how we're supposed to live our life. This is it. Why? They are perfect. What a perfect message. And the spring, we see the flowers and I enjoy the flowers, but I also never even thought about how the trees and the flowers and everything is interacting below the surface and sharing beautiful messages between them as well. There's this, so it was just so enlightening and beautiful. What beautiful creatures, the critters. They're just, oh my gosh.
Oh, Sue, that was lovely. That was beautiful. I'm so glad. I'm so glad they brightened your evening like that, right? Awesome. Just awesome. Thank you. Barb, do I see you?
Yes, you do. And I'm never shy about sharing in these. I mean, I had the exact same reaction Sue did. It was just like, oh my God, we could do this. And the message for me, there were two parts to I took personally is what I saw between that being able to live that way and where I am now is the belief that I don't think it's possible. So that I just see now, it's like, oh, and it's not a judgment. It's just like, oh, that's in the way. Okay. So we get to play with that. And they said to do that, get muddier. So my assignment is to get muddy this month, really muddy. And I almost feel like I'm going to play with finger paints or something really messy. I don't know. I'm a writer, so words are not very messy usually, but I feel like I have to get my hands really dirty doing something.
I
But that
love
was
that.
great. As always, these are great.
Oh, that's great. I love that idea. What would it be like to just get in the mud, right? Or get clay, or, again, get experience it. I love that idea. How do we get muddy? Because that can also be a metaphor, right? It
Right.
doesn't, you may not have to physically get muddy, but what does it mean? To you, it might be different from what it means to somebody else.
Yeah, because I kind of want to get muddy now. I kind of want to go in the backyard. I live in New Mexico. It's not very muddy here. And I should go like get some dirt and run a hose in it and make it muddy. And then the dogs and I will just get muddy. And I think that would make me happy, oddly happy. Until I had to wash off the dogs. But okay.
That could be really fun. And it makes me sound, it's very childlike,
Yeah.
right? That level of play yeah, I love that. Very
Yeah.
childlike.
So next week I'll report on how muddy I have had my week of mud.
Okay. That sounds great. I love it. All righty. Allison, did I see you? Monica, or Allison first, I think. Go ahead, Allison.
I have always loved otters. When I was a little kid, I lived not far from the Denver Zoo. I used to ride my bike, probably way too young to be go hanging out in City Park, Denver, but I had pretty hippie parents. So, and I would go to the zoo, which was open, you'd have to pay for it, and just hang out and watch the otters for hours and hours and hours. They were just like such a strong affinity. And it's funny when what they were saying, I didn't really like, I feel like, okay, yeah, I've gotten this message, or at least I also give that, that's how I live my life, basically. But I love the word revel, right? Revelation, revel, right?
It looks like everyone's muted. You have
Hold
to
on.
unmute.
Allison, you got muted. My fault. Say that again. You revel. Are you there? Allison, there you
Okay.
are.
Yeah, sorry. So I looked up revel and I found these a list of synonyms which are hysterical. And so I'm just going to read the list because it's really funny. To be engrossed by, be preoccupied, bolt down, chow down, delight in, do compulsively, do voraciously, drink in, feast on, gloat over, partake of, pig out, polish off, rejoice in, scarf down, take in, wolf down, love, relish, and savor.
That's awesome. I think that's exactly all that goes. Yep.
I
That
love how there's
works.
3 references to animals in the list. So just the
Perfect.
ability. I mean, I'm a big gardener. I spend hours of my day gardening, and I'm a dog sitter and an animal communicator. I spend hours playing with dogs, walking dogs, getting covered with mud every day of the year. And I don't even feel like it's work. It's tiring, but it's not work, because for me, I just feel like I'm being an otter and just playing.
I love it. That's great. So you've already incorporated a lot of that. Is there something else you can take from what they said that's nuanced or new for you that you can play with this week?
I don't know if it's new, but it's kind of more like validation, in that like sometimes people will will judge me for being like that and be like, calm down, or what, or they'll point out like, oh yeah, but it's raining, like I'm like, rain, it means like life, and it's the cycle. It's so exciting. Go out and run, play in the rain. So for me, the message is just a validation of how I am, and also just to realize that it is something, and especially in the springtime, something to be to notice, to rejoice in, right? I always say my ADD kicks in the spring because I just talk and I'm like, look at run around and I just never go to bed. And yeah, so much joy for me.
Fabulous. That's wonderful. Thank you. Very ottery of you. Wonderful. Thank you. Monica, I think you want to share something?
Yeah. I was listening to the message and I also had a different conversation with them as well, one of the members. And I was just asking, so what is your message for me? And so this otter just came up and had this huge smile. And it was so cute. And so it was I said, and then we were talking, and then I asked, well, I've been having a lot of trouble with my foot. I said, well, what do I do with my foot? And then they were swimming up and swimming because mine was a ocean otter, since I mostly relate to the ocean otters. And so it was just saying how the joy of being in whatever you're in. And also it's like being in the physical world, because I'm on a spiritual path, and being in the spiritual world and knowing that even I am part of source, and so is my foot part of source. And so even though there's pain with it, it's like bring that source of spirituality into that foot. And it is what I've been working on anyway. And so, and then that helps relieve the pain. And then like the otter was just saying, you go gather your urchins or whatever, and then you come back up. And then you play, and then you go gather the urchins, and then you come back up. So it's just like saying, incorporating the play with, even though you have pain, make it playful. Remember that source is always there, or the divine's always there to help in any kind of painful or hard situation. So it was nice to remember. It's like, oh yeah, the playful portion of it. Cause it's like, it's that difficult part when you're in excruciating pain to be just like, oh, this is fun, but I'm working on it.
Oh, that's great. It's kind of like don't take everything so seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
And it was just, I mean, just the joy. And it's also really funny. I mean, my daughter is really intuitive as well. And she gets to draw whatever animal she wants every month in her art class. And she chose an otter this month without even knowing anything either. I was like, oh, okay. I guess we have messages coming in about something.
Oh, that's awesome. That's just great. Again, I love these synchronicities that seem to be happening more and more frequently for us, right?
No kidding. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. Anybody else? Well, if you think of something, please feel free to unmute, and I will certainly let you talk and ask anybody. Does anybody have any questions about anything that we said or anything the otter said? Any need for clarification? Jane, you're unmuted. Do you have something else to share?
Yeah, pardon me. Most of this semester at uni, we've done a lot of welfare, animal welfare. And the big sticking point that they're having with trying to find evidence-based, so people can sit there and go that it's not a load of poop and push it out the window, it's that they have trouble working out what are the positive expressions animals get, especially horses, when they're in a good place of welfare. And I've always had this thing with my horses where I play with them. And we were discussing about the parasympathetic nervous system. And when you're working a horse, and anyone who works with horses, you'll see, and you've probably seen Monty Roberts do this, and Pat Pirelli, and we have people who know exactly how we feel about those people, right? But you'll see them, they'll push the horse up in the lunge ring or the round pen, and then you'll see when they stop pushing the horse up that the horse will start to non-nutritionally chew, right? And there is evidence saying that this is based on the parasympathetic nervous system re-kicking back in. And that tells us that that pressure's been taken off. So the flight button's been turned off a little bit. So they go into this particular thing, and then the muscles and that start to relax. And the otters were talking about how play helps to bring that relaxation in rather than push. And when you do that, you can see in the zygomatic and orbital muscles and all of those muscles where the animal, and in the neck where they start to soften. So playing not just for us, but with our animals, especially where people think horses are, how can I put this without sounding awful? Can I say there for their purpose? Their thing, and it's not really like the horse loves to do it because we put that thing because we like it. But they said talk about seeing those sorts of things and try to work on welfare, looking at these minute aspects to try to bring them forward. So that was really interesting because I've got right into the welfare, and that there are more opportunities to come up. We at the university, because I changed unis, as you know, even this mid-semester, mid-year break, they're doing research projects. Our teachers do a lot of research projects, and they actually invite students to go and do the research projects with them. And they're talking about all these changes that are coming up. So a lot of mine was also about changes. And they also did a lot of heart work on me because I've been hurting a little bit. So they did a lot of that. So very warm heart at the moment from them. They're like, you give so much from your heart, we're going to give back a little bit, which was very beautiful. But yes, very much about the play and to see the softness that occurs in the animals when you're working with them. And it's not about them working for us, it's about us working with them and being a partnership and learning to have fun in all of it.
Beautiful. That's so lovely. So the otters gave you a gift of the joy and the playfulness, and confirmed for you, if I understand correctly, the importance of allowing animals to play, horses that are working so hard, or working dogs. I mean, we're usually better at letting dogs play, but we aren't so good at letting horses play because of the sense that they're working for us and the importance of play. Right? That's what you're saying. And for you,
Yep.
and the changes that are happening, those are good changes, that's part of
Yes.
where we are. So that's lovely. Great. Thank
Big
you.
changes.
Thank you.
With that thing with playing with the dogs and that, I've got a friend who is amazing with horses, but when I said to her horse, I said, your horse just actually wants you to sit and love it, just to give it that love and to play with it. She goes, I would never consider doing that with a horse. It's not a dog. And I'm like, no, trust me, they love it. And she started doing it, and the relationship between her and a horse changed. And that is the way most people think, because they're somewhere between a working animal and livestock. They don't think of them as having that emotional bond that a dog would get with a human.
Yep. And then when they do play, that it opens up a whole new world, because now they're on a different level with each other. It's not, I'm the human and in a superior position and you do what I ask you to do. But now we're just playmates. It's a
Yep.
beautiful thing. And there's a book written by a man named I forget what the O stands for, Fred Donaldson, called Playing by Heart. And I learned about Fred 20 something years ago, because it's all about playing, not sports, not competitive play, but the kind of play that little children do together that's like a dance. One person leads the play for a little while, then somebody else takes over, and they go back and forth, they share, and all this creativity is taking place. And it comes from a very pure place, a very spontaneous place. And he started doing that with wild animals. And he has some
Mm-hmm.
amazing stories about when he entered into a situation and just gave himself over to the game, the play. Because it wasn't like, again, it's not a structured game the way humans think of, okay, that's a sport and we play it like this. No, this creative, improvisational, spontaneous thing that really is play. And that's, of course, what otters are all about, right? It's like, oh, mud, yes, water, oh boy, right? So So there's this joy of the opportunity that's showing up. And I think that that is not how we typically live our lives with all the structure, all those things we supposedly have to do. And what's going on in the world today? A lot of struggle, a lot of pain and suffering. What if, like they said, what if we greet the day and tune into all that exuberance? How is that going to affect the way, what we choose to read or do or say? Or, if we can pull ourselves back into that moment of that daffodil opening or that tree bursting forth, or again, just visualizing the otters or the dogs, like Allison is playing with the dogs and Misai is playing in the garden, the bees and the butterflies and to really be with them, to play with them from this place of spontaneity and letting them lead the play, the animal, the bee, the butterfly, the bird. What? I have bunnies in my yard. How I just wow. Right? So so there we go. Thank you, Jane. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to share? Okay. No. Up, Gayla, please.
Yeah. I'm going to make the word revel my new mantra. There's something about that word that is just, it captures everything in those definitions. But if I got another animal, I'd name it revel. I just love that word. It just brings it all up. And for me, that whole experience of everything waking up, the plants bursting and listening to the animals and the birds. And I just moved to a new apartment where I have thousands of birds. I live on a pond and there's great blue herons flying right by my window, tons of songbirds. And I had no birds at my other place in Longmont. And I'm just like, thank you. I need this. I could relate to what Monica was talking about dealing with pain. I just broke my shoulder right after I moved in and dealing with more pain than I've ever experienced, ever. And this was really, really helpful. It's like they're telling me, you just got to lighten up and connect with all of those, that energy of everything waking up, healing you, makes me want to cry. It's so pretty.
Love that. So yes, write revel in big letters and stick it on your fridge and on your mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very healing. And I love otters. When I got your email, it was like, okay, I got to hang out with the otters. I love them, love them. And another thing I was just talking to a friend about today was joy, was that innate joy that, even if you have like severe grief or incredible extreme pain, that joy is always there. It's always there somewhere in our hearts, and the otters can help with that.
That's it exactly. And that's what they want to do, for the week, the month, whatever. This is our moment to allow that energy into our beings. And that's the beauty of, we spend a month with the otters. We'll spend a month with them. And right before we go to Ireland, Gayla, this is Gayla, who I'm going to Ireland with Harmony Pack. I'm so excited.
Hey.
So we have this month with them of just reveling again in their energy. And I'm sure there's going to be some other things they're going to bring in, because there's always layers to everything they share as we go through the month. So yeah, it's just going to be really fun to see how this unfolds in this merry month of May, when everything is springing to life. So it's perfect timing with the otters. I didn't think about it. The otters came to me and said, "We're up." And I said, "Okay." So there we are. We are at the bottom of our time here, but Anybody else have anything they'd like to share or ask? I'm just so delighted to have you all here with us. Mary Lou, you have something you'd like to share? Go ahead.
I might as well just jump in and thank you, everybody. This is my first time in the Harmony Pack, and it's lovely. And I just, it was a very welcome message about play and joy from the Otters. It's one that I resist a lot. I'm very serious, and so, and it's play is like the last thing on my agenda. And so this is a very, personal, I took it quite personally, as you suggested. But the other thing I want to say was that when they said it's a privilege to be informed, I got really attentive to that because it just feels like a chore to be informed. It feels so hard to be informed. And so I was grateful for that reminder. It's a privilege to be embodied and to have some fun. I hate it when people say to me, lighten up. So I was like, now the Otters are saying it. I'm like, okay, I can take it from an Otter. I can't take it from a family member, but the Otters are okay. So I'm very grateful.
That's wonderful. Yes, sometimes it's got to be somebody different that can get something through to us, right? It has to come, because what is the expression? You're never a prophet in your own land. So it's if we're too close to somebody or they're too close to us, we don't want to hear it. But then it can come from this unknown place and we can let it in.
I'm very grateful for everyone's comments too. It was actually very helpful and loving. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was so sweet. Thank you. All right, everyone. Again, it was a joy to be with you and to share that message. I'm just like, woohoo, I feel great. I'm just gonna be smiling the rest of the evening. And I will make the recording available of this class for everyone. I will be sending it out to everybody tomorrow morning. And so you can listen again. And I'll have some info for those of you who have not been, who are not part of our pack yet, but who might be interested in joining. We would love to have you and not miss a session with the Otters. So thank you, everybody. It was so much fun to be with you tonight. Monica, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I have a question. Did you change the link from the one that we usually do?
Yeah, because I invited a whole bunch of new people tonight.
Okay, because I was wondering, I didn't get it right for some reason. So
okay. Yeah, that if I open it up to, when I open the pack up, I often have a new link. So people can access that. So sorry about that. Yep.
No problem.
But you found us. You found us. All right, lovely. And again, great to see you all, for old friends I haven't seen in a long time, Sue and Pamela and Linda I saw the other day, but I hadn't seen her in a while, and Monica Delorme, who I haven't seen in a while, and so many of you, but of course my dear pack. So lots of love to everyone. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Have fun and revel. Bye.